Welcome to the first video of the series. Well, the second video actually. This video we're going to be implementing the Windows Event Collector server, and also forwarding some events from the workstations to the Windows Collector using Windows Event Forwarding. So, in order to do that, I already started the actual Windows computers I will be working with, the Windows Domain Controller, and two Windows workstations. One of them will be a normal workstation, and the other will be the Windows Event Collector. It's going to take the role of the Windows Event Collector. So I already joined one of my computers. Here I have the RTP session to my client workstation, and let me reach for a second, the domain controller. So 172.16, I think it's 52. I'm correct. And then I type the password. Yes. So here I have two nested RDP sessions. Shouldn't I shouldn't have any problem with that because all my systems are in my local network. So yeah, this is the domain controller, and also I will need the Windows Event Collector. So another RDP session. In this case, it's going to be the 53, if I am not incorrect. Yes, password. So here I have my three computers. Okay, in order to implement Windows 7 forwarding, let me show you a little bit what is this about. So here I have some, not there, in my desktop in picture one. I have these references. I think I don't have the reference I want to show you. Windows Event Forwarding. Let's look for it. So this is I think it's the most useful reference from Microsoft documentation about what is Windows Event Forwarding and what it can do. So uh, you should read. I would recommend you to read all the information that is here, but in a summary, it says Windows Server Forwarding is a capability, a functionality that Windows includes in the system to forward events to another system, basically. So, common questions. Would you know if Windows Server Forwarding is enabled or not? Basically, no. It's actually very obscured. Like if you open your Windows session, your Windows computer, you won't feel like anything is different. Anything also that is important here, basically, you will be able to forward event logs from Windows computers to another workstation at, well, this can be modified, but the actual options that appear in the user interface are 3 seconds, 6 hours, and 15 minutes. So if you think this about, basically your SOC. So at the end of your pipeline, if you see this diagram, the events, the Windows events from this workstation, for example, will take at most 30 seconds to reach the event collector. From here, we will use another technology, which will be an agent and an X-locked agent. This is a event collector solution that will also ship the same event logs to our Google Sequence forwarder, which later we will forward again the logs to SecOps. So this process is actually a little bit complex, but also not very optimized in the sense that if you see this travel, it's one, then two, then three forwarding steps that we will be needed to implement in order to send the logs from these workstations to SecOps, which, if you think about it, is going to take more than 30 seconds. So it's 30 seconds here, then the amount of time the NXLog agent takes to forward the logs to Google Sequence Forwarder, and the same with the Google Sequence Forwarder. It's going to take another extra time to send to Google Sequence. And then the processing in the platform is going to take other time. So you can expect between 10 15 minutes for your agent to be real-time in the platform. But that's the I mean, that's the reason. And the reason I'm using Windows forwarding in this environment is because we are making an exchange instead of implementing or installing thousands of agents in all our Windows workstations. We're using Windows forwarding, which simplifies feature management. We won't need to worry about merging and patching that software basically. So that's the benefit of using Windows forwarding. But also, its advantage is that yeah, we are not forwarding from the endpoint to the service provider. We can just do settings instead control free shipping for doing this architecture. That's a your decision. You can keep using some forwarding if you want. I think it's recommended if you have the solution, well, use it. So anyway, let's see this messaging so forwarding will help us yeah, synchronize plans two ways to implement the technology. I think it's mentioned here, like let's see, subscription clients. We'll see that later when we implement the solution. So let's go to our practice sessions. And okay, we need to do a few things before implementing this. So the first thing we want to go to tools and go to activate users and computers. So here let's quickly see if I have all the computers here. So maybe after I have my API UC in Vimo org, which I created before I recorded this video. I don't have any workstation, no servers, no users, no connectors. So let's see if here we are. So I will be adding the workstation 01 as my collector. So over there. And the workstation 02 is going to be just a workstation. Yes. This is simple for me. And then, of course, you will have different tree architecture for your domain. But it's very important that you have very clear which computers are your workstations, which computers are your servers, and which computers are your collectors, because we are going to be working with a script. So let me check here if I have this event forwarding this. This. So I want, yes, this one. So let me show you this script quickly. This script is made by HA Security Solutions, and it's in the repository Web Computer Group Management. The script is maintain computer groups PH1. So this script is comes very handy. Basically, it will help us load balance our workstations into groups so that when we configure our REX or Windows Event Collectors, we can again load balance the traffic to various central collectors, basically. So let me copy this script and let's go back to the uh, yeah to the DC. So here I'm going to open ISE. Get a second to load, and here let me paste the script here. So what I'm going to do is fill the variables here. So since my environment is actually small, I mean it's a demo environment. I only have one workstation, one collector, and one DC or one server. I'm going to create only one group. But of course, you'll create more groups depending on the amount of computers you have, and that's very important. If you look for it in the internet, Microsoft recommends that web collector, web, sorry, I'm repeating the word, a web should receive at most 3,000 events per second. But generally, that means that a web can support around between 2,000 and 4,000 workstations. And that's important. I'm referring to workstations, not servers. because this script also weights or differentiates between servers and workstations. Because I mean, this is common sense. A server will generate more logs than a workstation, obviously. So that's why you need to make sure how many groups you will need, depending on your amount of computers you have in your environment. So I'm going to tell this script to create the groups. I'm going to call this web group 01. Then my domain is, I think, is lab IRC and then DC local. That's my domain name, my Windows domain. Then if I want to exclude any computers, I don't think so. I'm not going to exclude anything. Well, actually, I want to exclude the web itself. So I'm going to exclude WS01. I think that's the name. I'm not sure. Workstation collector WS01. Yes. So WS01, it's not included. You don't want to include the collector itself in this group. Then here we have some variables to search for the computers in the domain. So here is asking me for where are my servers in my tree of organizational units. So you see here, it's in servers demo org. So what I'm going to do is go here, servers demo org. I think it's like that. Yes. And then the same domain name. The same domain, sorry. Like that. And we want to include the DC here. So the DC is in domain controllers. And that's all. So domain controllers. I'm not sure if C is capital. Yes. And my domain is lab C, C, and domain controllers, C. Yes. My workstation is similar, so I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste it here. I'm going to delete or erase this. And in my case is workstations, workstations demo org, workstations demo org. Yes. And then we have also the possibility to search by regex. If for any reason this doesn't work, we can search for regex. My naming convention was very simple. For servers, I think I don't have any servers, so it will be nothing for servers. Sorry, I closed the domain here. So here nothing, and in workstation is from the beginning is WS number. There are actually two numbers, so because it's 01, 02, 03, and like that. So like this. And if there is any remaining access, we will ignore it. So we can categorize a server as a workstation or just ignore it. Then here's the waiting, and that's all. So let's save the script. Sorry, not like that. And let's run it. So the script says total possible points is 6. It should be spread across one web instance. And okay, that was created. Let's see if it works. So here in the users, I think it's a folder, I don't know, is created the web group 01. So let's verify that we have ADIRC workstation 01 and it included the workstation 02. I think that's because I'm actually not sure why included, because we said here that it's an excluded computer. So anyway, let's just remove it manually. So that's important. You would like to review this. Yes, the collector. Yes, the collector. So let's remove it. So we have the AD, ARC, and the workstations in this group. So we want to collect basically logs from this domain controller and also from this workstation. And my web collector will be this computer. So here I have a mess, like it's a little bit complicated to know in which computer I am. But anyway, let's continue. So that's what I want to show you. Obviously, in this demo doesn't look like a big deal. In a really big environment will come very handy. So let's close this. And now that we have our group created, let's close uh, this. Now it comes the typical part. Let's go to group policy management. And uh, actually, you can implement Windows forwarding in non-domain computers, but that's not actually very recommended. In that case, yes, you will prefer to use agents and take the risk of managing them. I mean, I will do that actually. You can implement Windows forwarding in non-domain joint computers by using certificates, but I think that's too complex. That's working. So here have the emerging collectors. I don't have any policy on that collection. So here, let me give me a second to verify my notes because we need to create 4 GPUs. So the first thing we need to create here is Windows Remote Management. Basically, Windows forwarding works on top of Windows Remote Management. So let's go here to the company service and create a new place. And we need to call it enable Windows Remote Management for Windows forwarding. So let's click OK. Now um, this service can documents like this. It's a dangerous service to have it enabled in all computers in the case they are not using web. Like if you have a computer that's not included in the Windows forwarding architecture and you have Windows forwarding implemented or enabled with Ubuntu, you are not following the principles of least privilege. Like why do you have Windows forwarding enabled if you're not using it? So here in the scope, let's add the work, and also let's add the workstation, uh, the workstation 01, I think. I don't know why I didn't look for it. WS final. I cannot add user groups. Okay, let's add the computer itself. Check names WS01. This is my collector. It's in the collector folder. So yes. So here we have. I'm not sure if this is correct. Uh, but the configuration we're going to do are only in the computer. The computer. I forgot the name. The computer configuration. Yes, at this level, basically. So yeah, let's continue. If this doesn't work, we're going to change that. But anyway, let's go to computer configuration. So computer configuration, then is policies, then administrative templates, Windows components, and let's go for Windows remote management. It's right here. So here we want to go to the service itself and allow remote server management through Windows remote management. So let's enable it. Now here we have some parameters or options we want to configure. You can keep it simple and just type asterisks, and basically this says type an asterisk to allow messages from any IP address or leave the field empty to listen on no IP addresses. So if you keep it this blank, it won't work. Basically, you have Windows Remote Management enabled, but blocked for everyone, basically. If you type an asterisk, you have Windows Remote Management enabled, and you will accept connections from everybody. You would like also to keep it more secure. So here at the IPv4 filter, I could set it to my local network and my lab, which is I think is this one. I'm not sure if CIDR is allowed here. So in that case, you will type it like this, and this should work. This is my network. And IPv6, I think I want to keep it blank for security. So let's follow the security best practices. So I'm gonna keep it like that. And let's keep a comment here. Windows Remote Management enabled for Windows Event Forwarding. Sorry, I forgot the name. So apply, okay. And this configuration is all we need to do. No, actually no. We need to go now to Windows settings, security settings, and then at the Defender firewall with advanced security, let's open and create a new inbound role. So this is very important because the port for Windows Remote Management is often closed by default. So let's go here, Windows Remote Management. Let's click Next. And here we want to disable the public domain, but keep enabled the domain and private profile. Public profile, sorry, and domain and private profiles. So basically, Windows Remote Management will be allowed in connections or networks that these have configured this profile at the domain level, obviously, or the private level. If you no, well, domain level because the computers are connected through the domain. So let's click next. Let's allow the connection, and yes, we have this done. And finally, what we want to do is to enable Windows Remote Management in all computers on a startup. So let's go here to preferences. I think is control panel settings, yes. And let's click new service. And here we want to look for the Windows Remote Management again. So let's go down here to the W, Windows Remote Management, click at the left column, select. Service action will be to start the service. And then apply, okay. And that's all. That's all we need to do. So enable Windows Remote Management for web, it's done. Let's create another GPO. You could keep all the configurations in one GPO if you want. I wouldn't recommend that. I think that's not like a best practice in Active Directory itself. But anyway, yeah, you can do it if you want. So the next configuration we want to do is the Windows 11 forwarding subscription URI. So this configuration is, again, we want to filter this configuration to the web groups. I'm not sure you need to include the web itself. I don't think so, because what we're going to configure here is the path, the URI, well, the name says, the URI that the clients will use to forward the, the events that they collect. So here, let's go to, I'm not sure what is it. Let me check. Computer configuration policies. Okay, administrator templates, Windows components, and we want to look for event forwarding. Yes. And here we have the configure target subscription manager. So let's open this policy and we are going to enable it. And in the options, we want to show the subscription manager. And here we need to type the following URI. So it's a little bit long, but it should be easy to type. So we want to type first the parameter server, and then we're going to type the following URI. HTTP double colon slash slash, and I'm gonna type this host name, subdomain, domain, TLD, double colon, and then the port of Windows Remote Management, I think is 5985. Yes. And then this is the then is subscription of the client. Mistakes for be careful. And then the parameter refresh is equal to 60. So here we want to type the host name and the domain of the web connector. So let's go quickly. I think WS01 actually. So here the host name is WS01
and then my Windows domain, which is web IGRC local. So let me copy this just to verify that everything correct. Server HTTP WS01. I'm going to verify it. I don't lose anything when doing that. So let's check quickly. I think I could have checked this in the itself. Yes, is WS01. Actually, I can copy it. I'm not sure if I can paste it here. Yes, that's correct. So WS my subscription manager work and refresh 60 seconds. So here you will have some questions. Like for example, hey, what happened with this HTTP? You were saying a lot of things about security, but you are sending events encryption basically. So you don't need to worry about this. The messages are already encrypted. So the HTTP packet itself is not encrypted, but the content is encrypted with Kerberos. So that's why this is another reason we want to implement Windows 11 forwarding in domain Windows domains and not in non-Windows domains, because if you were to forward events in a non-domain Windows workstation, you will need to use HTTPS, and here the port will be 5986 in that case. Uh, but also you will need to set up a PKI infrastructure and configure certificates, and that's a whole other story. So yes, and this refresh parameter here, I think, I'm not sure, but I think this is the time it takes the workstations to verify that, yes, this is still the web. Yes, this is still the web. And they pull from this web also the configurations about what they should forward to the web itself. So yes, I'm going to copy this again. Uh, just in case, just paste it, okay. And then we can click apply, okay. And also before going to the next policy, here we have configure forwarded resource usage. I am not going to configure this one, but in a really big environment where you have like thousands of workstations, you will want to enable this. You will want to enable this and set the maximum forwarding rate allowed for the forwarder. So basically you will set here like, okay, my client can send up to 100 events per second. In that case, that will be the top of your client. I'm not sure what's the actual benchmarking of how many events per second normally our workstation sends, but since in the internet and people often say that yes, our can support between 2,000 and 4,000 workstations, I think that should be around 1 event per second, something like that, but not sure. So yeah, keep in mind this policy also. If you notice that your wiki is like falling apart, like is failing, sometimes it doesn't respond to clicks or something like that, and then it breaks, it's probably because it's receiving too much events per second, or yeah, something like that. So you will want to enable this. So let's close this GPO and then create the next one. The next one is, this one is not mandatory, but you will want to configure it. And it's about network service, no, permit network service access to security lock. So this one, okay, this one is a little bit funny because the first time you see what we're going to configure is a little bit scary. So let's go to computer configuration policies, administrative templates, computer configuration policies, administrative templates, Windows components, and this is event log service. So at the letter E, event log service, here we have the log services. We go to security, and here's the thing. When we configure Windows event forwarding, often the reason is because we want to forward security event logs. Uh, but the problem with the security log is that it requires privileges to get access to it. So if you go to the
event viewer. I am logged as an administrator, so I can just go to security and I can read. Okay, let's give it a second to load events. Yes, like that. I can read events basically. But if you logged as a normal user or as a network service, you won't be able to read the logs. So what we want to do here is grant access to the network service to read the logs. Yes. So we need to type the following thing. First, we want to go here to our PowerShell script, PowerShell command prompt, sorry, and we're going to type web util Windows event util GL, which stands for get log, and we type security, and we will receive some information about the security log. And this is the important parameter we want, the channel access, this string here. So this is what we call an SDDL, security descriptor, something like that. Security descriptor definition language, yes. And we're going to type this here, but we are not ready. So basically, uh, this part of the string is like who's the owner, to which group it belongs, something like that, I'm not sure. And then all the parentheses are like a access control list. So this one, the A stands for app. You have access. You are permitted to do whatever this value, hexadecimal value, represents. To whom? So SI stands for system user. So here we have other user group, which is the BA group. I don't know what is that. 0x5, I don't know what kind of permission is that, but the A says, okay, it's permitted to do this. And finally, here we have another A, and the 0x1, this one is permit all, if I'm not bad or incorrect. And this one, the S1532573, is the event readers group, if I'm not sure, incorrect. Here we want to add another another access control entry. So let's open a notepad, paste it here, and we're going to type a parenthesis, and let's type A for you have access, then two semicolons, and let's type 0x1. 0x1, so again, you can do everything like read and write, or I'm not sure if it's everything or just read. Ideally, I think we should type here only for read permissions, but anyway. So three semicolons, and then we can type MS for network service or the SID, which is S1520. Any of those two should work. I'm gonna keep it like this. Let's copy it, paste it here. If you want to know more about this, you can look for it in. I think I don't have here anything about that. No, SDL. You can look for it here in the Microsoft documentation. This page has these related topics. Here is about the string format. Here are about the access control entries. So it says it's a text format for storing or transporting
information in security structure. So basically, there are string that represents permissions. So if you follow the group and the specific permission in a secondary list or entries. Uh, yes, and here we can see that the A stands for invalid, D for divided, and so we have other options here.
I haven't reached for the, I haven't searched, sorry, for the permissions itself. Like, mm, well, I don't know. Anyway, you can read about that whenever you want. So let's go back to our uh, DC, and I'm going to copy this, apply OK, and then I think it's not necessary, but you will want to also configure the same value here in the configure log access legacy. I think
This is for computers. Well, you know, it's policy, only the users who speaks, which is almost policy.
Tools. Yes, it's like if there is any problem with compatibility, you want to enable this too. Uh, so better the two than just one. Yes, and that's all. That's all we need to do with this GPO. Finally, I think there is one. No, that's all. That's all. These are the three GPOs we want to configure. So the web subscription URI, the permittable access to security logs, and the enable window management for web. So this, since it's already filtered, we can enable it at the domain level because we want it to reach the workstations and the domain controllers also. So it's going to be there. Then the web subscription URI, we want that to reach our workstations and also our domain controllers so here. We have the web URI, then we'll do domain management, and then permit network access also at the domain level. Yes. So yeah, basically everyone for each this. If you were to move your domain controllers to the OU, you could move these GPUs inside the ORG. So now that we have this, we can force update the GPU policy by running GP update, and that's all. And let's wait a second. Okay, it updated the policy, and let's check GP results, target, the scope, computer, R. And let's see, this domain controller receive the enable winner RAM, web subscription URI, and permit network access to security log. Yes, it worked. We want also to enable this configuration to the workstation, uh, also the client. So let's go here and let's type GP update. I typed it wrong. GP update. And with that, GP result, scope computer, summary. And then it says apply group policy objects, default domain policy, web subscriptions, permissible access, and is also part of the following security groups. Built-in doesn't appear in the WEC group. Hmm. So let me verify something quickly. So here, tools, users and computers, WEC group 01 members, WS02 and ADAGRC are my computers that should be included here. System. I don't know why it doesn't appear here. WEC group 01. Well, I think it should be working because no. Okay, let me verify this. I think it should appear here the group the computer belongs to. I don't know why it's not appearing, so I'm going to pause the recording a second. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, I'm back. I've rebooted the computers and apparently it worked. Now appears here web group 01. So it should be working now. Let's have it here. Let's verify here in the collector that everything resulted correctly. GPU result R. So will show us everything. Wait, GPU result. GPU result. So let's see here in the computer settings. Okay, this one is not part of the web group, but it should be part of the, yes, but all GPUs were enabled, yes. So everything's fine now. By the way, you should also, even if the web group appears here, I mean here, you should anyways restart your workstations and collectors because I think actually I had issues before in other implementations with the GPU of the network security group, the network security user, sorry, about granting access to the event logs. You'll need to restart your computers in order to complete this change. So in order to verify that, we can close this. We can go to the workstation and run wec util gl security. And let's see here. Yes, we have the permissions for the network security group added. So that should be fine. We can verify also in the services that the Windows remote management, Windows remote, where is it? RRRDMP, Windows remote management is running, so should be fine. Wait, yes, and I think that's all. Yeah, Windows remote management is running. Yes. So now what we want to do is go to the collector. I chose the workstation 01 to be the collector. So let's open event viewer. And here in the event viewer, let's make this big. We'll go to subscriptions, and here it says to work with subscriptions, the Windows 7 collector service must be running and configured. Do you want to start the service? Let's verify that. The Windows 7 collector service must be running. So let's go to services, uh, uh, Windows EEE, event collector. So it's not running, but it says, do you want to start a service or configure it to automatically start when the computer is started? Yes. And now it should appear running here. So let's refresh, running. And the service is running. Now we will create a subscription here. Create subscription. And it's called like the work group we created before. Rec group 01 sub 01. So my web groups can have various subscriptions basically. The destination log will be the forwarded events. Let's choose sources, source computed initiated. You can read about this in the documentation I pointed at the beginning of the video. But basically, this means the clients will push the events collected to the collector. Here means the collector will push up configuration made before. So you will basically need to know which computers you will add to the forwarding infrastructure and what they are going to collect to forward back to the collector. So it's a little bit more complicated than this. Uh, I never used this option before, so anyway, let's go to select computer groups, and here's where our group also comes very handy. So let's type wec, check names, wec group 01, okay. And second to last, we're going to select the events we want to forward. Let's choose the security event, that's what we care. You could choose any other options here. Also, in future videos, we will see how to include Sysmon. There is another extra configuration we will need to do in order to work. So let's click OK, configure advanced settings. Here we are going to choose minimize latency. OK, and then OK. And we have an issue here. And this is not good. So let's click retry.
find as per the firewall. These are security policy we made are enabling Windows Remote Management. So verify that Windows Remote Management is here. Yes. So these reports, everything looks good. Okay. I don't know whatever happened. Okay, so let's say the Windows Remote will not create a push subscription. So let's verify the client if we have that open. So here is firewall, allow an app, no, firewall, I, firewall, again, let's open the firewall, advanced settings, in firewalls, Windows Remote Management is enabled. Okay, we need to troubleshoot the collector, I think. So in order to troubleshoot, we'll go to application service logs. We'll go to Microsoft Windows, and let's type here letter E, yes. And we have to collect two logs here, the event collector log and the event log forwarding plugin collector. So in the event collector, we don't have any error apparently, so there is no inherent error with the collector itself. Let's see this one. So it says we have something here. The forwarder is having a problem communicating with subscription manager at address. Okay, probably I typed something wrong here. WS01 Lab 8JC local 1595 WS month subscription manager work. Windows Remote client request to server and responsible request. Okay, nothing here, nothing here. Okay, let's click refresh. Nothing happened here. Click forward. Application services log. Wait for a second. Okay, Microsoft Windows.
E, event forwarding plugin. Okay, we have more errors here. So the same problem, right? HTTP double colon slash slash error code. Okay, the same. The WinRM firewall exception for public property limits access to remote computers with the same local subnet. Okay, and finally, let me verify if the wait. Let me verify quickly the DC event viewer because apparently there should be a problem with the URI, but it should be included in the work itself, maybe. So we need to remove this probably. But let me verify quickly this application service log, Microsoft Windows, letter E, event log forwarding plugin, and the same here. And this one is different by default. Okay, so yeah, we have a problem here. I'm not sure what is it. We can look for this code in the internet. Let me give a try here in Windows 7 forwarding error. Is this one number? 046. Yes. So let's verify what it says here. Mm, Prerequisites as well. Okay, I don't know what's that. Error code. To make sure any fully qualified are correct. If your GPO setting is correct, have they been connected to the client and server locally? Yeah, on the client and server locally successfully. Yes. Yeah, that probably is a problem. So let me try that first. So let's remove this filtering. Apparently, it needs to include the WEC also. If that doesn't work, I will try to remove also this to see if maybe, well, this should work because this includes all my computers in the demo, but let's verify if this works. So now with this done, let's go to, okay, let's run a GP update here. Let's run a GP update here also. GP update. And finally here, PowerShell GP update. And let's wait a second. Computer positive updated has completed successfully. Okay. And let's go here to the subscriptions. Let's try. And it says the same. Okay, let's quickly verify also that the, okay, let's go here to UI, edit, preferences, no, policies, administrative templates, Windows components, and it's, I don't remember which one is it. Yes, it's in event forwarding. Event forwarding, yes. Configure target subscription manager. So here, what we can do is copy this. Let's open a notepad. Let's open a PowerShell script. And it says server http:// ws01 lab agency local ;: 5985 ws man, yes. Then subscription manager is correct. Yes, /wec, and refresh is 60 seconds. Refresh, yes. I think this is correct, so there is no problem here. So let's cancel this, close this. I don't know what's the problem. I'll make a pause here. I'm going to stop the recording in a second, and I will be back in a few minutes.
Okay, guys, I'm back. I managed to make it work. So, make sure to like this. Apparently, it was a firewall issue. Like in the message was saying that, hey, you have something wrong in your firewall. I run this command, winrm quickconfig. It says to me, we want to start winrm service to the layout start. I type yes. And then it told me, do you want to enable the winrm firewall exception? I type yes. And it told me, yes, you have remote management now. And then it just worked. When I type retry, it worked. This is concerning me because we have a GPO here for WinRAM, and here we made a security policy that added this uh,
firewall rule to all computers, including the workstations, all the workstations. So I don't know what was happening. Maybe I just needed to restart the computer. Anyway, actually, it's very strange because here in the firewall I have now two duplicates of the same role, but after doing that, it started work. It started to work. So maybe you will need to do that in your web collectors always, but it shouldn't because I have implemented Windows Server Forwarding before without needing to run this command without any issue. So well, anyway, you know how to solve the problem if it happened to you. Now let's refresh, and it worked. We got a source computers one. It should be two actually. One is the workstation, and the one missing is the DC. So let's see why the other one is not appearing yet. Let's refresh, refresh, refresh. So anything. So let's verify quickly. Forwarding plugin, so everything fine. The collector, everything fine. Let's verify this one here in the forwarding plugin. So it says the forwarder has successfully connected to the subscription manager. So it's working here. Uh, so basically, the one missing is the DC. So let's review quickly here. The so still we are having problems here. The forward is having communicating with subscription manager. So this uh, okay, this is happening in DC. Maybe it's because some changes haven't applied yet. Access is denied. This is a network service trying to read the network security log. And the reason it can't is because I haven't restarted the DC. And well, that's some of the down things of Windows 7 forwarding. And in order to make it work at some point, is you need to restart your computers. And restarting a DC is sometimes something that we don't want to do. But anyway, I will do it. I will restart the DC. So I'm going to close everything here. And after that, it should work. So let's close this. Let's close this and these two, and let's click here restart so that the network service permissions wait network service permissions can't update. I will wait a few seconds for it to restart, and in the meantime let's go to the collector. So here in the collector we have the subscription. At least one computer is already forwarding events. We can see these events in the forwarded events log here, and here you can see that we have received one event log. The reason we only have one is because we haven't done anything in the other computer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to log out of this computer. So let's do this, and let's open another RDP session. So I'm going to enter this computer. So this should generate some logs of the logon events. And let's verify here in the, okay, let's also enter to our PC machine. Yes. And, oh, okay, 54, 52. Yes. Let's go to our collector. Here's our collector, 54, 53. And here in the forward events, let's refresh, and here we have the security event logs. And also we received one of the for the AD. So it's working. There you are, all the event logs of the AD and the workstation 02. If you go back here to the subscriptions option, you have two source computers. So now what we want to do before finishing this setup is open this subscription. Let's double click it. And the final thing I want to point out is that, yes, as we were saying at the beginning, Windows 7 forwarding is very good to forward events to a central workstation, and you don't need to install any agent or third-party software. However, it has some limitations. As we said, it can only support some number of computers, like more than 4,000 computers it will be very bad. Actually, if you have 4,000 computers and you are forwarding all the security event logs without any filtering, like here, uh, that surely uh, will break your collectors. So in order to filter this, we can use the options of the query filter. So I want to show you some of the resources I have here. Um, One of these is the event collector, I think this one, and also event forwarding guidance. So here
I have this from NSA, Cyber National Security Agency, repository, even forwarding guidance. We have a lot of information available which we want to take a look for different reasons. The workers activity, passive house detection, commercial activity. So you will need to do some research here in order to detect what you want to collect in your environment. So this will depend on your environment, your workstations, your machines, your rules, also the state of your security, like if you were recently breached, you recently faced another breach, you will want to, for example, enable other this device. Something like this, for example, DNS filter services, or DNS actually, because you will want to know from which machines, which machine will have the same site to its different data. I don't know, you detect some lateral movement, maybe workforce activity would be interesting to take a look. But anyway, this is like a lot of information. Also, the NSA cyber repository is very good about forwarding. You have a lot of things here to review. But Logstash, achieve security solutions, Logstash, they have uh, this script is pretty list, so we can copy it, especially when it really filters a lot of stuff for us. So let's go here to the XML and let's edit
manually and paste the query list here. Click OK and click OK. So this query list, let's take a look at it. It's it selects from the security path. It suppresses some noise events. It also takes information from the application, from the system log, from Sysmon if you were to have it. I think this is going to generate some errors because we don't have Sysmon installed, but you could remove it. Also from PowerShell, I mean, here is like, okay, it's gathering everything, but you could do your filtering here. Also, there is
another reference. I don't think I have it here. We provide guidance, Logstash, everything is in the same poster.
no, this is HA security. No, it's not here.
Okay, in a second I will look for this repository missing anything.
Okay, I found the repository. So the first one is from Palantir. This person has this repository, sorry, Windows Event Forwarding. Am I recording? Yes. Yes. And okay, this repo is actually quite big and has a lot of stuff to take a look. Some important things I want to point out. The Windows event channels. Basically, you could create your own custom event channels. Like here, you have these event channels, storage space drivers, and now 1x. I don't know what is that. From the kernel, input output. So you will create custom event channels here for different log collection in order to organize better your events. So this person created a DLL, or you can create your own using the, the manual. I think it's like here to compile your own. And I think he gives you all these custom channels for different aspects of visibility and observability. Uh, other thing important, another thing important here are the auto runs to win event log. This is about detection of some kind of adversary techniques regarding auto runs. Basically, software that runs automatically on a startup. You can read about this here. What else? They have the web subscriptions, and here I think these are the the configurations of the whole subscriptions. But here you have the query list that you can copy for different aspects. Like for example, you want to monitor Kerberos, something like that. Here you have the query list with the IDs. Uh, you want to monitor something related to, I don't know, shares, Windows shares. So you have here the query list. All the this XML is used with the uh, I think the WebUtil. So you can use the WebUtil to also configure the Windows 11 collectors and Windows yes the collector itself. So you will use uh, these XML files to configure that using the command line instead of the GUI as we did before. The other repository I was missing was also in Security Express community, web guidance. So here there is also a ton of information regarding Windows 7 forwarding. They have uh, a couple of things that are very important. The first one is the remove stale web subscribers.ps1. So basically a problem also with with Windows 11 forwarding, is that the web stores information about the clients, the web clients, in the registry. But when you remove, for example, from your network a computer, the registry will start to will not delete the information from the registry. Basically, it will stay there. And in big environments, I mean, in this demo, it's not going to happen. Even if I delete these computers and I add 100 more virtual machines, it's not going to be a problem. But in really big environments where computers are coming and uh, all the day, all the time, and then there are the computers that are being rejected all the day, all the time. Well, you will have to manage your registry records also. So this PowerShell does that for you. I haven't used it, so you will need to investigate that for your own.
if that's the case. Also, again, there's a ton of information here about the website for working. And I think they also have a filtering, eventual collection, and subscription collection, something this one. So if we check this, we have a custom queries. So for example, for network list, HTTP client, DNS client, so that's your working monitor maybe. So you will need to take a look at what is here. Obviously, you will need to make your own modifications of this configuration for your environment. So that's all regarding
So for warning, as you can see here, I am receiving the events from the AD. I have received tons of events just in a few seconds. Uh, This win, I don't know what is this. Uh, I'm not sure what is this, but anyway. So yes, as you can see, I'm receiving events from. I don't know why some events also come.
the whole domain name, the full qualified domain name, and others come with the host name of these ones. I'm not sure what is that. Anyway, that's something interesting to investigate later. But that's all. We continue with some forwarding.
We made the GPOs to enable Windows 7 forwarding, although we had some issues. Uh, with the GPOs being applied correctly to all the workstations, we successfully troubleshoot the problems. Just as a quick, just quickly, I will show you the configurations. Enable WinRM. So here we have uh, the Windows service. I try to modify this to the asterisk, but you can keep it all again with the filters for security reasons. Again, the Windows service, Windows Remote Management Service, you want to enable it uh, to all the workstations that will be included in the Windows Remote Windows Forwarding architecture. For the network security, the network service access to security log, we configured this SDDL, and for the web subscription URI, it was correct. So we didn't have any problem with that. It was a DNR firewall policy that wasn't being applied correctly.
So, yeah, that's all. And of course, we use of this script to manage users and
Computers in big environments. So thank you very much for your interest and your time being watching this video. Hoping seeing you again soon.